Hello, Atlanta. It's your girl Sharon, the host of the podcast Atlanta Hood Connection. I want to give some flowers to this young lady because her story is so compelling. This story really could have aged her. It could have made her bitter, made her sad. However, you're going to see during the podcast how lovely she is, how kind she is, how sweet she is, and most of all, talented. See you at the podcast.
Hello, Atlanta. It's your girl Sharon, the new host of the podcast, Atlanta Home Connection. And I'm going to interview a young lady today. Her name is Jackie. And I want to thank you again for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And let's tell Atlanta what you represented and a little bit more about yourself.
Okay. Well, of course, originally Ashburton Avenue. That's where my grandma lived. That's where me and my siblings, most of our life, we were born and raised on Ashburton Avenue. Everybody knew everybody. You know, you had the candy lady across the street. You had Papa John on the other side of the street. Every time he cooked, we going over there, and everybody knew everybody, and you couldn't get away with nothing because if you tried, then it would be on sale. And so, so I was born and raised off of, Ashburton, went to East Lake Elementary, and then, we moved or whatever to Decatur, but that's where I'm from originally.
Well, then, if you were born raised on Ashford, of course you had to be a greater baby.
I am Grady Baby, 85, born and raised, that's me.
What school again did you attend?
So I went to East Lake originally, and then we ended up moving, and ended up going to Peachcrest Elementary, and then I graduated in Towers High School. Yeah.
What she do I know about that child? You too little young for Did you participate in the school activity?
Did originally I thought I was gonna be a basketball player, but that ended one season. I was terrible at that. And so then I went into theater. I love theater. So I was in the drama club for most of the time I was in high school, and also I was in chorus.
When when you was in drama, was there any particular um, play or anything that did that stood out?
We did like several productions. One of the productions that we did, it was funny. The part that they gave me originally, it was about like teenage pregnancy. And originally, it was supposed to be, like a girl who was young and she found out she was pregnant. But we were like, going over lines one day, and one of the girls, she was a teenager and she ended up losing her baby. So the girl originally who had that part, they was like, you supposed to be singing, you're supposed to be crying. And so they said, Jackie, do the lines. And then I did the lines, and then my drama teacher was like, yeah, you're not gonna have it, Jackie. You got that part. And it was a good story. It was a good play. And everybody loved it. I remember when we put the production on at school the next day, everybody was like, where how you get like that? Of course, that's me. I love it.
You, you were taking autograph,
Oh yeah.
giving out.
Every minute of it.
Yeah, I mean that's it.
So it's seven of us total. I'm the second oldest, but everybody thinks I'm the oldest. Then my sister said she was like, I'm her little big sister. So, so yeah, it's seven of us total.
Oh, y'all told.
Yeah, we are. Y'all are really close. I mean, life be life, and sometimes, so we don't get together as much as we used to. But we have like this group chat, and so we always make sure, we write something in there, if not 3 or 4 times a week. So just to keep tabs on each other and just make sure we all good. But yeah, we all close.
Okay. And you said drama and chorus.
Hmm.
So you also were a part of the chorus.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
I can hold a note or two.
We can't wait to hear. Okay, what made you want to come in and tell your story?
Well, I feel like with my story, if I can just touch one person, I did my due diligence. Like I've been through a lot in my life, especially at an early age, and a lot of the things that I've gone through, most people like that's it's unheard of.
Right.
So just giving people hope and letting people know like it don't matter, what you're dealing with, what you're going through, what you can make it. And so I feel like my story is one that can inspire many people to just keep moving ahead and forging ahead and just living and trusting and walking in their purpose.
So, with having said that, even like me whining about, getting my podcast off the ground, I feel so bad about that now.
Don't feel
bad. Yeah, just want to make me feel different.
bad, bad.
Okay. So, what do you mean you got sick?
So I was 14 originally when I got sick. I never forget. It was the air went out in our house. And so my mom, she had like a unit in her window. So all of us, we had to like go in her room and we made pallets on the floor and we slept in there. So while I was asleep, my mom, she woke me up like several times, like, Jack, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. So the next day she said, are you okay? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, well, you kept like last night you kept like stop breathing in your sleep. And she said, that's why I kept waking you up. And I was like, but I feel fine. And so she was like, yeah, we'll make you a doctor's appointment. And she made me a doctor's appointment, and that's when everything started.
Wow. Up until that moment, you were cool.
Yeah. I mean, even throughout the whole process, I was like, the doctors were just, every doctor that I talked to, that was like, they don't understand how I was still alive because I should have been dead, especially because I had so much fluid in my lungs. It's almost like, how when a person drowns and their lungs fill up with water? I was basically walking around with my lungs filled with water. And they were like, it was no way. Like they had never seen somebody that was just like, I was walking to school every day. I was,
And
like I said, I was in theater. I was at home and playing like running, doing like typical stuff, and I felt fine.
no swelling, no.
But everything didn't start until after we went to the hospital and they started because I wasn't small, but I wasn't big. So for me, it was like I just thought I was a little heavy.
So did.
So I didn't really, think that it was just fluid, on, any of that. Because like I said, I was fine. And then when I started going to the doctor, they just started pointing out certain things. And that's when we realized, like, okay, this is bad.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, the moment your mom had to leave you, tell us about that experience.
So, went end up going to a doctor. I was going to, your pediatrician. You go to them until you're like 16, then you can go to a different doctor. So I was going to my pediatrician, and when after that night, and she was like, "Well, we're gonna try different things. Maybe you need to lose weight, and this and the third." So, put me on the diet, lost weight. Weight came back like twice as much, and so my mom was like, "Okay, you keep telling us the same thing. We gonna try to find another doctor." Because at this point, this is ridiculous. So we ended up going to a different doctor. And when she saw me, she looked at me, and the first thing she did, she walked in, she like took her finger and like touched my leg and she pushed it in. She said, "You see that indentation on your leg?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She said, "Your legs are really, really swollen."
Wow.
And me and my mom kind of just looked like what? And so she was like, "Yeah, I want to run some tests, and then I want you to go and get an X-ray done. I want you to go here, this, and the third, and then we're gonna look at all those results, and then we're gonna go from there." And so we did all that. It took a couple days. She got the results back. She called my mom, and she said, yeah, pack Jackie's bag and take her down to Everson. They know she's coming. I'm admitting and went to the hospital. They had been literally, my mom got home from school. My mom took me to Eggleston and they admitted me that night.
Wow.
And my mom was like, "Well, I gotta go home. We got your siblings. I'll be back. We're gonna, she got me situated." And that for me, that was like the scariest moment for me because I had never been away from my family, my
Exactly.
mom. So for me, I'm like, oh my God. And I'll never forget when my mom left, I went into the bathroom and I cried. And then prayed and I said, God, if you just be with me through this entire process, I'm going I'm gonna keep the faith. I'm gonna stay positive. I'm gonna do everything I can do, but just please just stay with me.
You 14.
14.
So you had that spiritual meaning and love for God. You know you was gonna be all right.
Yep.
Amazing.
14.
Amazing.
Yep.
And that you kept and worked through all different kind of obstacles behind that.
Oh yeah. Like we from 14 to when they found out at 21 what was wrong with me. So going to
So what was the treatment like going from 14 through 20?
so with that process, it was a lot of going to different specialists. They were like testing me. When I said they were doing all types of tests just to figure out what was going on, and the tests were just coming back normal. I went to my cardiologist, pulmonary specialist, gastrologist, because fluid was like everywhere. You had fluid in my lungs, I had fluid sitting on my stomach, I had fluid on my leg, and they were just trying fluid around my heart. And so they were just like, okay, this fluid is coming from somewhere. Where is it coming from? So they're just like doing all kinds of tests, and I mean, when my stomach would get too swollen, I would have to go and get a procedure where they would have to drain the fluid out of my stomach.
Okay.
And then if I, if my chest started bothering me, I went to go to the hospital to make sure, it's like the fluid is fluid back around your heart. I had to get my lungs drained, like and I was in and out the hospital, and it was a lot of hospital visits,
Oh,
a lot of going to different specialists. It was a lot of medication,
oh wow.
and it was very draining.
Yes.
And for them to just run all these tests and everything's coming back normal, and the doctors were like scratching their head, and they're like, as much as medicine has changed,
Mm-hmm.
we should know what's going on, and they could not figure it out. And for the longest, they were like, "You're just a miracle." Yeah, I am. And I'm like, you just walk around and smiling, and something's wrong. We don't know what's wrong. And I'm like, no worry, y'all are gonna figure it out. God gonna make a way. Y'all gonna figure it out. And so when I'll never forget when the day they found out, it was, well, I got put in the hospital because I got really, really sick and blacked out. And so I was rushed to the hospital, and my gastrologist, Dr. Cheryl Harris, she said, well, you're not going home until we figure out what's going on. Because at this point, it's getting bad. It's been 7 years. Something's wrong.
7 years.
And so she said, "This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do some tests we've already done. I'm gonna talk to the cardiologist. I'm gonna talk to your lung specialist. I'm gonna talk to them,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're gonna come together and we're gonna figure out what tests we're gonna get done, and then we're gonna go from there. But you're not going home until we figure out, because at this point it had been so long, it was starting to really things that were healthy, like
Yes,
it was
indeed.
starting to become, get impacted by it with the
Mm-hmm.
feeling. And so I said, okay, so stay there for 2 weeks.
Wow.
My last day, the day before she was gonna let me go home, she said, "There's one more test I want to do, and either you can come back or we can do it tonight." It was like, yeah, we'll do it tonight. So that night they did it was they had to go through my groin all the way up to my heart with a little camera. And she was like, "You're not gonna be asleep for this. You're gonna be numb and light-stated, but you are not gonna be asleep." So she was like, "But you're not gonna be aware of what's going on."
Okay.
And so did the test. The cardiologist did like it rolled me down. Head on the screen is here. I'm looking at the screen. The doctor's going in like through my groin area all the way up, and I'm like, I just feel the pressure. And he looks on the screen and he was like, "Oh my God, that's it."
Wow.
And it was my heart But instead of my heart pumping fully,
Mm.
it was pumping halfway and it was cast with plaque around it.
Wow.
And so he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to get this off your heart. So we're gonna transport you to Emory and we're gonna have to have open heart surgery." That's what's going on.
Wow. What was it called?
Pericarditis.
Pericarditis.
Yes. And pericarditis, the one was so interesting because pericarditis is mostly found in Caucasian people who are like in their 40s and 50s.
Wow, and you put doing that, you
That was
right.
right. And
Mm-hmm.
so he was just like, my doctor was like, "There's no way. You are only 21. You should not have that." What? Like he was thrown. He was like so thrown off and stunned because he didn't understand how that even happened. And so we ended up going to Emory.
I mean, yeah, man, that's just amazing.
Yeah. And I remember when when I ended up getting transported to Emory and they did that was my first time I've ever seen my mom cry. Out of the whole
Really? Do all of this?
That was the first time I saw my mom and she didn't really like cry heavy, but she was just like, like my baby got to have open heart surgery. Like this is like real. And for the longest, she was just like, "Is there anything else? Can you do something else besides open heart surgery?" And it's just like, "No, we have to. So she has to have that open heart surgery because if not, we have to get that plaque off because her heart is not functioning at full capacity." And so I end up having the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And it was longer than they expected because when they went in, they didn't realize it was like from how the doctor explained it, it was like cement around my heart because it had been sitting so long.
Oh, wow.
Right. So he was like, it was so hard for them to get all of that
Oh, wow.
off. So it took a lot longer.
Mm.
And then that recovery, it was brutal for me. It was really brutal.
I want you to finish that out, but before you went in for the surgery, did you meet someone special?
I did. I did. And I'm married to him now. It's so funny. Man, I was telling him, I was like, "You know what? I believe God healed me because he knew you were coming in okay." But yeah, and the crazy thing when I had met him in like August,
Mm-hmm.
and then September is when I just really just my health just started going down.
Mm-hmm.
And he would, like we had only been talking for like a month on the phone, and we had probably went on like 2 or 3 dates, but we were still getting to know each other. And when I got sick and I had to have open heart surgery, he came to the hospital and visited me one time, which I thought that was really sweet. I told him not to come back because
Why?
after the surgery, I had so many machines on me and I lost a lot of weight and I was just not in a good headspace at that moment.
Exactly.
And so I was like, "I don't want you to come back." And so he was like, "But why?" And I was like, I don't want you to come back, even though we had a great day. I didn't want him to see me like that." And so he would call my mom because my mom had my phone and he would call my phone and just check on me and it was like months and just to make sure I was okay. And I told him I was like, I thought that was so sweet. And he said it was funny because he said the day that you called me, that was the day I was like, if I don't hear from her anymore, I'm just gonna delete her number. And so I ended up calling him because after it was like after the surgery, everything I was different in the sense of the happy Jackie. Like I said, that recovery was brutal for me. And so I was like, I went through a phase of depression.
I'm sure.
And I was really, really down because I was so dependent on so many people after the surgery. And so I was just really just down. So I didn't really want to talk to anybody. I didn't really want to see anybody. I just, like I was in my room, I got up, showered, came back, and that was it. So it was hard, but I ended up bouncing back. I remember I never forget the day that I came back. I was in my room and I said, "You know what? After everything I've been through, they figured out what's wrong with me. I had this open heart surgery. I'm doing well." And I was like, "You got so much to be thankful for."
Yes, indeed.
So I was like, "Let me get up." That's what I did. So I got up that day and put on some clothes and I went outside and I was like, okay,
All right then.
okay, I can do this.
Okay.
That was 20. That was 20.
How long have you been married?
It'll be 10 years on June 27th.
Huh? You got some knowledge on you.
Yes.
Does it seem?
No, it doesn't. We were talking about it the other day, and I was like, it doesn't seem like it's been 10 years.
Can't believe you
Like,
worked 10
and
years.
yeah, June 27th, it'll be 10 years. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then we've been knowing each other 16 years, so all together. So I'm like, it's been a fun adventure. It has been perfect, but it's been fun. Yeah.
I don't know, baby. Ain't gonna be perfect. But then I'm telling you something, if it was perfect, I will be worried. Okay? Yeah. Just, just learn those two certain skill set to get through. And then with your experience, I think y'all be all right.
Yeah.
Any kids?
No kids yet. We have two dogs, though, two chihuahuas, Remy and Taco. So those are our babies, our fur babies. They are rotten. Taco's a sweet baby. He's the oldest. Remy's a renegade. He's always in trouble and always doing something he has no business doing. But those are our babies for now.
Where's the baby? That's the renegade.
He breaks out the fence and he has a dog friends up the street. So like he'll break out the fence and like go to their house. And yeah, and then they'll break out the fence and come to our house. It's hilarious actually. And yeah, like they'll come down and start barking and like me and Twan will be leaving. They'll come down and start barking and we like and I tell them like no, they're not coming outside today. Go back home. Go back home, kids. They're not coming out today.
They are your babies.
Yeah, those are my boys. Those are my babies.
That's good. Okay. How old are you, if you don't mind? And I think you have a special way of telling.
Yeah, I'm 30 plus 8. 30 plus.
When are you?
I'm a teacher. I'm a kindergarten teacher.
Awesome.
So yeah, I love it. I love the babies.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So that's what I do. I'm a kindergarten teacher. I've been doing it for 3 years now.
Okay.
So I mean I've been working with kids my whole life, but I've been teaching um with the school system for 3 years. Kindergarten.
Are there any special things that you have made a difference in kids like that you like to share?
I think one of the biggest things for me is like when they come in, a lot of times they come in, kindergarten, they don't know a whole lot. So one of the things I pride myself in is majority of my kids when they leave my class, they're reading on grade level.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so yeah, they're reading grade level books and they're, decoding their, they on it. They on their way. So that's something I pride myself in.
Yeah. When they see you out and about, there goes like, there goes my teaching mission.
I'll never forget. I used to work after school like twice a week, and it was a little boy at the school. We were doing something with Halloween at the school, so I had to go get like some little ears and stuff like that. And he saw me. He got out the car. He saw me. He took off running. I could just hear his mom. And she looks like it's teacher, no. It's a shoemaker. And she was looking like, I guess he loves you. Like, you shoemaker, how you doing? Yeah, when they see me, it's like a big show, big production. I'm like, oh, sometimes I'm kind of hot though. I'm like, you go a different aisle. I don't want to see them today.
Okay, we just celebrated Easter.
Mhm.
What's your favorite holiday and why?
Thanksgiving because that is my birthday is like every 6 years it lands on Thanksgiving. So I love Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Favorite holiday.
What best dish do you cook?
I pride myself in my cornbread. I got the recipe from my mom who got it from my grandma. So she told me And so, yeah, I think we do a really good job. My husband, he keeps hands down. He tells people.
Well, I'm going to I understand that because when I make cornbread, they just make cornbread, mix, milk, eggs, oil, and water. So what makes your cornbread even better than
It's a secret. I put a little something, a little extra in there. I can't tell you about tell you then, everybody be doing it and you'll have the best cornbread. But I can't tell you my secret.
that? During your period when you were going through, what would you think would be one of the main secrets other than your love for the Lord and the doctors that kept you lifted?
I always knew that I was gonna be healed. And so I tried to focus on it and focus on that something positive and just holding on to my faith, keeping myself encouraged, and also realizing that I am human. So quite naturally, there were days where I'm just like, what if they don't figure out what's going on? What if I can't make it? What if something like they never figure out and I'm not here at 30 or if I'm not here at 35? And so I had those moments and then, I would go to my mom and she would just be like, Jackie, like I know you down. I know
Hmm.
that you're scared, but she was like, God got you. You're gonna be okay. So just having my faith and staying positive and reassuring myself and then having my village around me too. Having my family around me, friends like to keep me lifted and encouraged. So and just reassuring me that everything gonna be all right. And we here, we got you. So that really helped me.
What is your family friend day? What does that mean?
So, uh, so originally, Family and Friends Day, it was created in honor of my grandmother. She passed away, so her birthday is April 30th. And the last Saturday in April, we always have a huge family and friends day. We invite all our family, friends, and neighborhood friends we made throughout our lives. We invite them to her house and we just eat, have fun, play music, and just have a ball and enjoy each other. And just, we celebrate and honor her and also just honor each other and fellowship together, because life is short. So my mom and my aunt, they actually originated it. So they were like, we're gonna do something. Remember my grandma? My grandma was all about family. And she was all about like helping people and all about like, that was her personality, that was her spirit. Like she was the type of person, if you do something, I'm gonna call you over, I'm gonna get on you, tell you about yourself, then I'm gonna go fix you something to eat. And you was gonna wipe your tears and say, can I get 2 pieces of chicken and 2 biscuits, please? So I mean, so when this, family and friends days is all about that, keeping her memory and her legacy alive and just enjoying each other.
I feel that. I love that. Okay. I'm glad you shared your story. And I hope that others learn from it. And is there anything else you would like to tell people that share with people what they can do if they experience that or any other obstacle in their life?
Well, my message would be one, keep God first. Hold on to your faith. Um, it doesn't matter what the situation looks like. Everything we all go through things for a reason. It's never to make us bitter. It's always to make us better, and that's something I had to learn. And so just if something does come up in your life, keep your faith. Trust God. Know that He doesn't make any mistakes, and He's gonna be right there the whole time to keep you lifted, and He's gonna put the right people in your life to keep you lifted and keep you going. And just trust. Keep your faith, and you can get through anything. You can move mountains with that.
Yes, indeed. What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie. I have so many. The Wiz.
The Wiz. Wiz. Uh, why is your special?
I love theater, so I love the music. I love all the songs. I actually the last three, they were forced to learn all the songs, and they had my background singing.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, your children, yeah. I was so. If your children were here today, would you sing?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
saying.
Not here today, but let's pretend because you remember you love drama.
Do I love drums?
So the mere fact that you love drama just add you got your background singing. And I got one background singing for you to hear out commission right now. So if you just let us hear it.
So one of my songs, one of my favorite songs from the Wiz. You can't win. You can't forgive it and you can't get out of the game. People keep saying things are gonna change, but they looking like they're staying the same. You get in, pay over your head, and you only got yourself to blame. So you can't win, child. That's that part. You can't forgive it, and you can't get out of the game. Look at that. Like any stars, no?
And certain, different holidays, there's certain songs or movie come on that to let us know that it's that time. Okay, so what about 4th of July? What happens?
Let's see, 4th of July. So when the 4th of July comes around, my cousin Sean, he does this usually. He said he's retiring, but hopefully he'll start back. But he does this big firework. He does fireworks at his house. So it's almost like equivalent to Stone Mountain when you go. Yeah, it's he works on it, he builds the boards, like everything. It takes him a year. So by the time 4th of July comes, he has food. Everybody in the neighborhood, like they sit outside in their driveway, sit in the street. No, this isn't Ashburn, and this is he lives in Stone Mountain.
Okay.
And he puts on this big just production with the fireworks, and it's so beautiful. It lasts 15 minutes. And everybody's out. So we know when 4th of July comes, the fireworks are coming, and we get so excited.
That's good.
I'm glad you listened it back because he was like, "It's getting expensive." I said, "I know, but please, we'll help."
I guess indeed. That's one of the little jars out there. So on your way out,
Please, please, please.
how do you know when it's Christmas?
Christmas. So when Christmas comes around, you know what song I hear on the radio? You already know. Mariah Carey. I don't want to live for Christmas. And when I hear that song, I'm like, yeah, it's time for Christmas. It's time for Christmas.
Okay. Anything else that you can tell us? That you can show how beautiful you are that you haven't already shared?
Well, I mean, like I said, I think I'm an open book. And I don't mind sharing my story. I feel like I feel like my story is one that, like I said, it's so. And the thing is, this is like the surface. This isn't just like going. Basically, this is a summary. But just I mean, everything that I've gone through in my life, it made me who I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
And I wouldn't be me if I hadn't experienced those things. And I feel like how I look at life, how I live my life, when it comes to just like certain things I let a lot of stuff actually roll off my back. Because, like
Girl, you need to teach that.
yeah, and when I say a lot of stuff I let roll off my back because it was a time in my life when you 14, you 6,
Exactly.
and you don't know if you're gonna be here 21 or 25 or 30 because they don't know what's going on. You start to look at life a lot differently. So a lot of stuff we put a whole lot of stock in, I really don't. And like I feel like in like now in my life, to value moments. I value,
Yes,
like spending time with my friends,
Mhm.
spending time with genuine people, and having like just being around those type of people because that's what true joy lies.
Exactly.
In creating memories.
Yes, exactly.
So that's me in a nutshell.
What's your favorite trip? Oh wow.
So if I have a list of places I want to go,
Mhm.
and one of my the number one place I want to go is Paris.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go to Paris. Um, I want to go to somebody's beach. At one point in time, it was Mexico, but someone's like, "We're not going to Mexico. Pick something else. We want you to go somewhere more." I was sure. And so another place, it's in the States, but Hawaii.
That's
I've
okay.
always wanted to go to Hawaii. I just think it's a beautiful place.
Yes, indeed.
I want to go visit and just experience that. So
Yes,
yeah,
indeed. Growing up, did y'all take fun trips?
we did. We went to the same place every year. We went to the same place. I went to Orlando, Florida every year. That was our summer trip. We went to Disney World and Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure every year. That was the family trip. And the thing is, we loved it. We did. We truly enjoyed it, and we enjoyed the experience. But my mom was not flying anywhere. She was not going on nobody's boat or cruise. She was gonna get in the car and was gonna drive down to Orlando. Go to Disney World, and we did that faithfully. So I was, yeah. Even when I got married, she still was going. And she called me one day from work and was like, Jackie, we planning a trip to Florida. You coming? No, mom. Well, I enjoy that. Without me, I am good. I'll watch the house while y'all are gone. You just go and have a good time. I think I'm Florida Disney World out. And it's
No, I already know the answer to this question, but I really like to see it. So, and just add to your story. What's your favorite gift?
my favorite gift. My favorite gift, life.
There you go. We know it.
That's my favorite gift. Just being like that's oh man.
The ultimate.
It's the ultimate gift. I think like nothing compares, nothing competes. Life.